Hello, I'm Brett Knowles from PM2 Consulting. This short YouTube provides you with an executive summary of how to build your employee scorecard. The employee scorecard is joining the best practices that we've established over the last years around strategy planning, strategy execution, performance measurement, and performance management, as well as workforce management and employee engagement. And we're bundling this with best practices around execution, which include things like applying gamification logic to the framework. It's a fairly simple principle. Employees in the organization really do three types of work. They work on the organization, they work on developing themselves, and of course they get feedback on what they've done. In terms of working on the organization, it really comes in two flavors. People either help run the organization and/or they help improve the organization. On development, you're either developing yourself or based on the knowledge and skills you have, you help develop others. And the feedback side, you get feedback both from internal customers and coworkers and external sources such as customers, partners, and associates. So that's the work that people do. Now, what if we had a bundle of points that we could allocate based on your performance? So for activities you do around running the business, which is based on your role, whether you use a framework like RACI and you're the owner or responsible or an apprentice, and how that process has performed over the target period. You should also receive points for the work that you've done in helping make the processes perform better. That has to do with the project's work in process status, on time, on budget, on quality, as well as the tangible results it's returned to the organization. Now, in addition to that, we ask you to invest in yourself. And this is almost paying it forward. By the organization investing in your own development, it will, one hopes, eventually receive benefits for that increased capability that you bring to the table. So you should be able to develop your own personal development plan for the next period of time, and then get points allocated back to you based on how you're progressing on that work in process or the completion, the certification you have, and so forth. But as human capital and a bunch of intellectual wisdom, you also have a bunch of knowledge and skills that you need to share with others. So you may be running other training courses, you may take a role of coaching coworkers, a mentor, apprenticeship, and so forth. So you should earn points for that contribution you're giving back to the broader human capital. Feedback. We can get feedback internally through structured tools like 360s, surveys, or even ad hoc feedback. What if you gave a seminar to a group of coworkers and they used their mobile phone to give you feedback on how you performed? Likewise, externally, we should be able to get you feedback based on surveys of customers, customer calls, ticket closures, that kind of thing, but also ad hoc, again, mobile phone, whatever customers can use to communicate back with the organization on how you've performed. So that becomes a bucket of points that we can give you feedback on, and the important part is to package it in a way that's easily accessible and give you frequent feedback. So on an ongoing basis, you and your coworkers and your bosses can see how you're performing against those goals and what areas are being performed well and what areas are at risk.